In theory, I have no problems with genetically modified foods. Did you notice I said in theory? We've been doing this for thousands of years. We've been doing this by crossbreeding and then taking the better ones that show the traits we want and then planting the seeds of these specific plants. We do the same with the animals we have domesticated. A good example is the beefsteak tomato. Granted, there are a few with better flavor and meatiness, but these are specialty tomatoes that are not easy to grow. Granted, the beefsteak tomato is not the easiest tomato to grow. It still has some attitude built into the plant. For the past 5 years, we have been harvesting the seeds from the plants we grow. That first year, the beefsteak tomatoes didn't do well, but the Abe Lincolns did great, as did a cherry tomato that we had gotten from the grocery store. You know, tomatoes that you get from the produce. The Abe Lincoln and the cherry tomatoes crossbred, and we had the sweetest cherry tomato with the right amount of sour to balance out with the perfect flavor. The next 3 years, these were the greatest little tomatoes you would ever want. This year, however, not so good. They were flat tasting and not as sweet. We'll still plant some next year, but we may have to reintroduce Abe Lincolns back into the mixture. So you see, I don't have a problem with genetically engineered foods. The problem I have is the way that they're doing it. I don't feel safe with the process. Not for me and the older generations. I'm concerned about what it could do with those who are now growing up. I'm walking away from such foods, not buying them at all, and telling the companies using such products that it disqualifies them from our pantry shelf. This deserves a talk about. Hello, anyone. I'm Scott Bain. They call me the old farmer. I realize that agriculture has changed since my youth. I don't think that I have the knowledge to run a farm today. Our garden, yes. Things are different in a garden. Every year, I worry about the farmers who are my neighbors. It's getting harder and harder for them to make a living, buy the equipment they need, and pay the help. I don't like it that companies like Monsanto, now owned by Bayer, the aspirin people, have taken over from the universities most of the work of creating new types of plants for farmers to use. It also is killing the ground that are planted with our many varieties of food. Each year there is less nutrient in the foods we eat. Somewhere I read that we would have to eat 100 carrots to get the same amount of nutrition we would have gotten from a carrot grown in the 1900s. That's not good at all. So we need new plants to get better nutrition. Maybe. Again, I'm not against genetic modification, except I object to how it's being done. It is being done with viruses. The viruses are modified and then injected into the plant to cause the changes with the plant. These changes are then carried forward with the following generations. In theory, it sounds good. But here is the bottom line. We do not have the knowledge to sufficiently control what the viruses are doing. What if some of the viruses live through the process and is alive, by virus standards alive, and children eat the food? The experts say it's safe. The experts said the COVID vaccines were safe. Studies have shown otherwise, and that they shouldn't have been given to children. The experts said it was safe. The experts say the way they're changing the foods we serve our children are safe. Is it? Maybe it is. That's the key point. Maybe. The experts say it's safe. The experts say it's safe. The experts say it's safe. Maybe. It's not going to hurt me at 73 years old in 2023, but is it safe for someone 1 year old? 4 years old? How about 12 years old? What percentage of the virus lived through the process? Are the genetically changed foodstuffs safe? Is there something within the food that we have not detected that could harm our youngest generation? Granted, there has been some time since the first genetically modified foods have hit the market. Maybe it will take the next generation conceived that will show the symptoms. There is an indication, and this is only an indication at this point, so don't panic, that the mind-altering drugs given to problematic youth causes about 1% of them to become violent, such as we see in these rages from 19 to 30 years old that have used such drugs in their younger years. We don't know for sure because this is down in the noise, as it's said in statistics. They have to dig through this mess and see if this confirms such a small number have violent side effects in later years. These drugs mess with the growing brain in ways we still don't understand. Be careful if this is recommended to your child. Instead of using viruses to make changes, we could figure out a way to use the equivalent of doing a cut and paste with a genetic code. I would feel more comfortable with genetic engineering of our food if it was a cut and paste rather than using viruses. Viruses have their own ideas of what they want to do. That's why they've been around much longer than we have. So maybe you can join with many others that say, let's look for a mechanical way of doing gene splicing and not use viruses. We're just not ready to take these chances. So tell those who you get your food from. No more genetically modified food unless there's a safer way of modifying it. Tell the grocery stores and the manufacturers you will not buy their products if you use genetically modified materials within your product. We're doing this for the children. Thanks for watching.
Before we go, thank you to our subscribers who helped us reach over the 1,000 subscription mark. It's very humbling to receive the support from our subscribers. Thank you. I will always try to give you accurate information, and I'm not worried if you disagree in comments. Just remember, youngsters may read your words. Well, this is the old farmer Scott Bain saying, be well, be safe, and be kind to someone today.
Don't forget to click like, subscribe, share, or ring the bell buttons on the original Old Farmer channel. We enjoy reading the comments that you leave, and they do help the channel, so keep them coming. And once again, thank you for watching the original Old Farmer.
The VFW National Home for Children, providing families of veterans and active duty military opportunities for growth and development in a nurturing community. Please consider a donation to help their children and families. I.C. Rhodes speaking.